Hey guys! I'm sorry. Hey guys, how you guys been doing? It's your boys in here. Welcome back to our newest Pokemon XY Wi-Fi Bell. Now, basically, I'm gonna calm down a bit here. I'm gonna be looking at this team a little bit differently. We're gonna be looking at the team preview a bit. I'm gonna tell you guys what are my weaknesses right now, what I need to deal with, what I need to really watch out, or else it's gonna be Xenon, finito caput, rest in peace. It's been good knowing you, but that's how it's done. So we got a match against Kaan, and honestly there's no layout for this battle. There was a couple of things that were showcased that I really wanna like show to you guys and basically you know, just share, because this team I absolutely adore. It is buenissimo, man. It is magnificent. However you say it. So basically this team I really like. I enjoy using it. It's one of those teams that give you really good scores, yet you ask yourself what makes them work. And honestly, I guess I could say the weather, really. We got Rapid Spin, Hitmonchan, Special Defensive, Miltank, Physical Defensive, Flygon, you know, Dragons are a problem. Then we got Chlorophyll Venusaur, of course, with a setup Charizard. Why? For that single reason, as well as V-Crate, a Drought is incredibly strong. While I do need to say that I've not been spamming it while using this team and testing it. It's something about this team that I just don't... I tend to use Victini like mid-game or end-game. I never really use him too much at the beginning or like 20-30% into it. I don't know. It's a bit strange, but we're gonna see how we're gonna perform in this battle. Kaan, I battled him before. He's a really good player. I have him in my friends list. Well, mostly all the people I have in my friends list are really good. Looking at this team, we got Sceptile, which looking at my team, Sceptile in this case, this is very interesting because Sceptile is a problem to the most of my teams that I tend to do, but in this case I feel like my whole team can handle Sceptile outside of Miltank because it's got thick fat. Of course I need something to resist the fire in case I face it. Flygon can at least take one with the resistance, but all else can semi-handle it to a certain extent. What else do we got? We got Charizard. Now basically if he's got Y, it can be manageable. If anything, it will kind of support my own team, but I doubt that, you know, because looking at this team, it doesn't benefit anything from it. Skarmory already weak to fire. Sceptile, it's not like Sceptile runs Chlorophyll, so it doesn't really appreciate taking some boosted fire. It's not like it's gonna survive without that weather anyways. But Blissey, again, it's good, but what about physical fire? You know, nothing on his team is gonna take that. Rotom is gonna struggle, you know, it's gonna take it, but there's so much Rotom can do, and I'm pretty sure he's more of an offensive spread. Hitmonchan, on the other hand, Rapid Spin supporter, a really good Pokemon, but the one thing, ladies and gentlemen, the one problem is nothing outside of Skarmory. If I lose two of my Pokemon, two of my solid things to answer Skarmory, in case Charizard Y and Victini with Drought boost V-Crate, even without Drought, V-Crate is gonna decimate. It's a problem. So basically I have to save those two. If I lose those two, it is finito caput. So looking at this team, Rotom is a problem towards my team to a certain extent. Venusaur can handle it, but then he's got Blissey to stop it. So basically looking at my team, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna lead with Charizard, and you're gonna see why. So let's go right into this. There's no layout. I'm gonna explain why. Basically this team, this match was interesting. There was a couple of things, as I mentioned, I wanted to showcase. I wanted to show you guys, to review it. Basically I'm kind of exposing the stuff that I really enjoy using. Semi-creative, but there's one Pokemon that's creative. All else is a bit off, you know, Special Defense Hitmonchan with Assault Vest, maybe that's a little bit creative, but you know, we're gonna see how we're gonna handle this. The reason I lead with Charizard is to turn to Charizard Y and also protect. Looking at his team, I feel like this is not one of them defensive Rotoms. It could be Scarf, it could also be Specs. He did go for the Volt Switch, so I'm getting the idea that he is probably choiced, and I'm gonna switch out Flygon. Now this could be a very dangerous turn, but I'm highly doubting he's gonna go for either Hydro Pump or the Will-O-Wisp, because that is a Charizard Y, and you don't do this early in the match. I don't feel like he's gonna make such an over prediction, especially if it's choice and he's got no chance. He's gonna need to switch out, make a force switch, which he did. Again, this could also answer my calls, either choice Specs or choice Scarf. So knowing this idea, he switches out to Blissey, probably expecting me to switch out to Flygon, but then he switches out, which means that he may have expected something else to come in. Thinking about it, not well. Actually, Volt Switch is gonna give him the Team Switch initiative, so basically he was probably expecting the ground type Pokemon to come in and then switch out to, you know, the Hitmonchan, which also introduce Intimidate and pretty much handle me afterwards. So Victini is a good switch, basically knowing that, you know, there's not much he can do against Victini. Like close combat, I resist. I'm also here trying to avoid the Sucker Punch first turn, trying to burn him, and after that I don't care too much about Sucker Punch. I feel like he's got Blissey, but it's a question if he's got Aromatherapy, and I can handle him. Like Hitmonchan has been taken down, so one of his solid semi-attacking, semi-defensive Pokemon has been taken down very early in the game. That is excellent, because Intimidate has been lost now, and I can try to handle him from this point forward. So Charizard Y comes in. This is a problem. First of all, Drought is gonna benefit my team more than his team, and this is very strange because I'm not bashing my opponent. As I said, my opponent is a very good player. He flinches me here. I was going for the Willis, expecting him to be X. I was so sure he is X, but he's not. I was actually expecting him to go for like a Dragon Dance or something. That would be horrible. But the reason I'm saying this is because X would benefit his team way more, especially with the weaknesses that it tends to cover. Like it resists electric, it 4-time resists fire, which is pretty important. But you know, in general, it gives his team much more to desire. In this case, Drought, I don't know, Skarmory, again, as I said, it doesn't appreciate that weather too much. If anything, this team kind of appreciates more drizzle than Drought. You know, Sceptile, weakness to fire, kind of gets negated by that, and then Rotom's Hydro Pump gets stronger, and so forth. But anyways, I switch out to Charizard, just go for Air Slash, did more than half. He had to switch out to Blissey to preserve, and this is the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. As I said before, you have heard me at the beginning. Skarmory is a threat. I have to find a way to preserve Victini or Charizard, and this is the moment. Either expecting him to Toxic, to have Toxic Stall, something of that sort, and to not attack me because he knows Charizard cannot touch it, so he's probably gonna like Wish or Toxic on the switch, predicting the switch. As I switch out to Victini, knowing that I can, you know, I can pretty much outspeed him, I can go easily for a rest and get the Resto, ladies and gentlemen, off, regaining all that lost HP. And this is awesome because not only is Victini standing strong, this will also preserve the, you know, the chances to handle his Skarmory, which again, as I mentioned before, is the biggest threat. With Charizard standing at that amount of HP, especially if he manages to put up the Stealth Rocks, then I can still handle him because Victini is at full HP now. He can pretty much take Stealth Rocks at least 3 times, which means that it's gonna come in, it's gonna decimate something, and then switch out as long as it outspeeds and so forth. So, you know, also the Blissey is not gonna appreciate taking V-Crate, especially the Drought boosted V-Crate. So, yes. Anyways, I switch out to Miltank now because his Charizard has been taken down. I actually thought for a second that he's gonna switch out, but then I was like, I'm just gonna be playing it safe. I don't want to risk too much. I really don't. I feel like it's not necessary to risk. But he did stay in and I managed to outspeed him. Maybe he was running Modest, probably did run Modest because if I'm not mistaken, I outspeed him twice. And to win a speed tie twice pretty much kinda goes towards him running special attack boosting nature, you know, outside of Timid, which I was actually running. I believe that it's all about speed sometimes. I'm also running Flamethrower because Fire Blast had been missing for me quite a lot recently. But anyways, this Blissey is great news for my my Miltank, as I want to put up the rocks. So he's gonna go for the Simon Toss. I can handle that. If he goes for the Toxic on the switch, I can also handle that. Basically, what I want to do is break this Blissey in half. You know, I'm thinking that this will be enough, but it's not. Blissey takes this. You know, people say Blissey is frail. It's not. Let's be serious here. It is not. When it takes V-Crate, neutral V-Crate, nothing is frail when it takes V-Crate. That's a fact. And this take it marvelously. You know, with Stealth Rocks, yes, maybe there would have been a chance of an O-Hit kill, but it didn't come down to that. And if Blissey would have like run T-Wave, you know, stuff would have been bad for Victini's survivability. Still, even with -1, I know I can outspeed a Blissey, which no Blissey tends to run speed investment, and take it out. He couldn't really afford to switch out Rotom. You know, he cannot just keep on taking damage. Plus, at this point, Blissey is kind of a long gone, or he may have gone for Protect if he had it, but he probably didn't. He probably didn't have that. Maybe like aromatherapy. But Rotom comes in. Again, I had to switch out. I'm actually right now checking, you know, the Southwest Special Defensive Hitmonchan. I want to see how good this Pokemon is, and this is insane. That did 22 HP damage. That what is that? Like, that's not a 6 KO. That's not a 7. Yeah, maybe a 7 KO, but that is just mind-blowing. That truly is coming up to its name. I'm sorry, Hitmonchan, taking them moves like it's nobody's business. He's gonna whirlwind me away. I first thought, you know, this move, yeah, he was probably expecting me to fear the Brave Bird, but if I switch out, I can get the Drought, and he may also put up the Rock. So that was pretty much my plan, as he, you know, whirlwinds me into Hitmonchan. Now I'm switching out to Miltank. You may actually ask yourself, why did you do this? But honestly, I want to paralyze this. And you may actually again ask yourself, well, paralyzing Skarmory is not going to benefit you much. And I agree. But paralyzing something as this is not all about slowing them down. It's about giving you a chance, that 25% chance. And let me just tell you, 25% chance is a lot. There's a huge gap difference between 20 and 30. And I believe 25 is a lot too. It's like Skull Burn. It tends to happen a lot for some reason. And I don't know why. You know, for 25% somebody would think it's not going to be happening a lot over turns. But knowing me with paralyzation, I tend to get paralyzed all the time. It's like my worst nightmare hacks, man. But anyways, he is paralyzed. I'm expecting him to whirlwind, so I cannot switch out to Charizard. If anything, if I switch out to Charizard now, Stealth Rocks are gonna take me out. So I'm praying to Arceus. Praying to Arceus that he will, you know, he will hear my prayers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happened. He blows me right into Hitmonchan as I rapid spin away. I rapid spin them rocks away, and I don't care too much if he goes for the direct Brave Bird. He gets paralyzed. This is what I'm talking about. This pretty much means that the Brave Bird didn't take me out. Also gives me the chance to Drain Punch and do a lot of damage towards him. So it looks like a solid 2-hit. I don't see any I don't see any Rocky Helmet. I'm a little bit surprised what this this Pokemon is running. I don't see any lefties also. I don't know, but am I missing something here? Did I knock off? I didn't knock off. Wait, recall happens, yes, but I still don't see any item related effects afterwards. Actually, you know, a little bit off on this. I switch out to Charizard back as he manages to absolutely clean take down the Hitmonchan, but it's fine because now he's pretty much at the amount of HP where Stealth Rock is gonna take him down either way if he switches out, as I go for the Flamethrower, normally outspeeding him, especially when he's paralyzed, taking him out. Rotom is gonna come in, and I do still pack Solar Beam. Now, I managed just to outspeed, and this is very strange because I was not expecting this to be defensive Rotom. I managed to also, oh, I fell short, I guess max HP investment. But the thing that really surprised me is that, you know, basically I outspeed him, which means he's not running Scarf, but at the same time, the amount of damage he did to me, to my Hitmonchan, doesn't really apply to his specs. From a specs I would expect way more damage, so he must have been sort of a, maybe even a Resto Chesto to a certain extent now that I think about it, so that pretty much means that he was not choiced. Still, I'm gonna go for the Sludge Bomb with a Drought, you know, late game Venusaur coming in, getting that late game sweep with against the Sceptile, of course. As I mentioned, Sceptile doesn't run like Chlorophyll or anything of that sort, so again, Venusaur is gonna stand its ground. It is Life Orb, and Stealth Rocks are gonna take down the Rotom-W. Hitmon top has been taken down very early, which means he didn't have the chance to rapid spin them away. If he did have them, which I highly believe he did, basically because of the Charizard Y, but that was the game. So, you know, there were a couple of things that were the reason, man, I played Pokemon. Like Will-O-Wisp, Resto Chesto was such a joy to use, such a joy to perform. A couple of questionable things happening. That Skarmory was a threat. Basically, if I didn't handle Skarmory the way I did, I was having some lucky turns, I do need to admit. After that rest with Victini, I preserve it, and basically it gave me much more successful rate to handle the Skarmory afterwards. even with the Stealth Rock support involved. So there were a couple of good performances, a couple of bad performances on my behalf. I feel like Miltank didn't really handle much game in this one. You know, it feels like Simitas can only take you this far, but that, you know, T-Wave definitely handled Stealth Rocks for that additional damage, breaking Skarmory sturdy and so forth, and pretty much handling the Rotom Wash at the end like that also applies to some successful raid. Flygon, on the other hand, we didn't really use him much because, again, it pretty much gets wall by Skarmory. I didn't want to apply myself too much pressure under choice outside of U-turn, and there was no real openings for such action. Venusaur at the end pretty much taking clean stuff out. After Blissey has been taken down, Venusaur was let loose with his strength. Chlorophyll, Sun Boost, incredible. I love this team. It's strange, but I've been getting some really good scores with this team, and you know, I just want kind of like showcase it to you guys. So again, as I said, Rapid Spin, Hitmonchan, Stealth Rock, Miltank, defensive, Flygon, Scarf, and then we got Charizard and Victini and Venusaur taking place with that weather support. But just looking at this team here, you know, before I go, I have to say that I don't know, guys, but you guys tell me, do you think the Charizard X would have worked so well with this team? Like, he's got, you know, if his Rotom would have been totally special, then Sceptile, you know, having special coverage, then I feel like just the team-wise, I don't know. I don't know. Thinking about it, which one do you like more now that I think about it? Because I keep on facing the Y, even with the teams that don't really appreciate that weather, yet I don't face too much X. Still, I did make some mistakes, you know, going for the Will-O-Wisp against the Charizard. That was a huge mistake, as I could have lost that Victini early on. That would have been bad, but it didn't come down to that. Still, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. There was no layout, as I said, you know, basically looking at this team from a more of a slow down perspective, looking at stuff a little bit more differently on the matter of things and how to handle things. And honestly, the battle was interesting. I enjoyed this match a lot, so I want to thank Kaan for having this match with me. And you know, I look forward to our rematch in the future. But if you did enjoy this match, give a like. Thank you very much, guys, for continued support. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe if you enjoy the stuff. Of course, if you do not enjoy, dislike and let me know what I should do to improve. Layout videos I'm also going to be working on. They tend to take a lot of time, a lot of patience. You guys probably don't know this much, but I'm going to make a tutorial just so I can showcase how much time they take, and also how they tend to work. The thumbnail I did for the previous one, so much thoughts put into that one, but I enjoy making that. The thumbnails are so fun to make, and I hope you guys have liked the whole picture design. But anyways, that's going to be it for me today. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. Thank you very much, guys, for continuing to support my videos and continuing to be interested in the stuff I do. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. So until next time, guys, take care. Peace.